You wake up with all the plans in the world in your head, but at the end of the day you realize you did absolutely nothing. And then comes that voice calling you lazy, weak, incapable. But what if I told you that you're not lazy? What if this whole internal struggle isn't about willpower, but about pure biology? What if the real enemy isn't you, but 200,000 years of evolution working against your modern goals? The truth is that your brain wasn't designed for you to be productive. It was designed for you to survive. And these two things are in constant war inside your head. Get ready, because in the next few minutes you're going to discover why everything they taught you about motivation was wrong. And more importantly, how to hack your own brain to finally move forward. Let's go back 200,000 years. You're in the African savannah. Food is scarce. Predators are everywhere. Every calorie you spend could be the difference between living and dying. In this scenario, the brain developed a golden rule: conserve energy at all costs. You know that couch calling you? That desire to stay in bed 5 more minutes? It's not laziness. It's your brain doing exactly what it was programmed to do. Preserve energy for when you really need to run from a lion. The problem? There are no more lions. But your brain doesn't know that. It still thinks you live in the savannah. So every time you try to do something difficult, study, work out, work on a project, your brain goes into alert mode. Why spend energy on this when you can stay safe here on the couch? And this is where the sabotage begins. Inside your head, an epic battle happens every day. On one side, we have the prefrontal cortex, the logical, planning part that wants your long-term goals. It's the one that says, let's wake up early, let's study, let's build the future. On the other side, we have the limbic system, the emotional, primitive part that wants immediate pleasure. It's the one that screams, forget that. Netflix now. Tasty food now. Quick dopamine now. And guess who usually wins? The limbic system is faster, stronger, and older. It doesn't need to think. It just acts. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex needs energy, focus, and discipline to work properly. When you're tired, stressed, or hungry, the limbic system takes complete control. That's why at night you make decisions that in the morning you regret. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you out of malice. It's just trying to keep you alive. The problem is that the rules that worked 200,000 years ago don't work anymore in the modern world. Now let's talk about the most dangerous chemical hijacking of the modern era: dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of motivation. Every time you anticipate a reward, your brain releases dopamine. It's what makes you get out of bed, chase goals, feel desire for something. In nature, dopamine was released when you saw food, a partner, or something that helped you survive. They were rare and valuable rewards. But today you have a device in your pocket that releases infinite dopamine on demand. Each notification, each like, each 15-second video is a shot of dopamine straight into the brain. And here's the problem: your brain adapts. When you receive easy dopamine all the time, your brain raises the threshold. It needs more stimulus to feel the same sensation. It's like a drug. You develop tolerance. Then when it's time to study, work, or do anything that requires effort and only gives a reward after hours or days, your brain looks at that and thinks, this isn't worth it. Where's my quick dopamine? And you can't start. Not from lack of will, but because your reward system has been hijacked. Now the truth nobody told you. Procrastination has nothing to do with time management. It has everything to do with emotional management. Studies in neuroscience show that when we think about doing a difficult task, the amygdala, the fear center in the brain, activates. Literally, your brain treats the task as a threat. And what do we do with threats? We run away. Procrastinating is a short-term strategy to avoid negative emotions. Fear of failing, anxiety of not being good enough, boredom of doing something repetitive. When you open social media instead of working, it's not because you're weak. It's because your brain is trying to protect you from an uncomfortable emotion. The problem is that this protection only works for a few minutes. Then comes the guilt, the shame, the even worse anxiety. And then you procrastinate again to escape these new bad emotions. It's a vicious cycle. And the more you procrastinate, the more you reinforce the neural pattern. Your brain learns, when there's something difficult, we run away. It works. Here comes the most hidden self-sabotage of all. Fear. You think you're afraid of failing, and you are. But what's even scarier for the brain? Success. It seems contradictory, but think about it. If you don't try, you can't fail. And if you can't fail, you don't have to confront the pain of rejection, judgment, proof that maybe you're not good enough. Not trying is safe. It's predictable. But there's more. Success is also scary, because success brings responsibility. It brings expectations. It brings change. And the brain hates change. If you get that job, you'll have to perform. If you lose weight, you'll have to maintain it. If you create that project, people will judge you. So the brain sabotages you before you even start. It invents excuses, distractions, logical reasons to delay. It's not laziness. It's disguised fear. Another silent sabotage mechanism. Excess options and perfectionism. We live in the age of infinite information. You want to start a business? There are 1,000 courses, 1,000 strategies, 1,000 gurus saying different things. Your brain goes into overload. It can't choose. And when it can't choose, it simply freezes. This is called analysis paralysis. Besides that, there's perfectionism. That voice that says, if you can't do it perfectly, it's better not to do it. It seems noble, but it's just fear again. Perfectionism isn't about excellence. It's about control. It's about avoiding criticism. It's about never finishing anything because it's not good enough yet. And while you wait for the perfect moment, the perfect knowledge, the perfect conditions, time passes, and nothing happens. Your brain convinced you that you're being cautious and intelligent, but actually, you're just afraid to act. But here's the good news, the game changer, the scientific proof that changes everything. Neuroplasticity. Your brain isn't fixed. It changes. Every day. With every thought, every action, every choice. When you repeat a behavior, you create and strengthen neural connections. When you stop repeating, these connections weaken. This means that everything you are today, all your procrastination patterns, all your limiting beliefs, aren't permanent. They're just learned patterns. And learned patterns can be unlearned. Studies show that in just 21 days of consistent repetition, you can start creating new neural circuits. In 90 days, these circuits become automatic. You don't need more willpower. You need to understand how your brain works and work with it, not against it. Now let's get to the practical solutions. How to hack this system. First, the 5-second rule, created by Mel Robbins. When you think about doing something, you have 5 seconds before your brain sabotages the idea. Literally, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and act. Don't give time for the amygdala to think. Don't negotiate. Just move your body. Instead of, I'm going to work out 1 hour a day, start with, I'm going to do 1 push-up. Instead of, I'm going to write a book, start with, I'm going to write 1 sentence. Why? Because the brain isn't afraid of ridiculously small tasks. It's only afraid of big, scary things. Once you've started, the resistance disappears. And usually you do more than you planned. But if you don't, that's okay. You still created the neural pattern. Microscopic consistency beats sporadic intensity every time. Remember the dopamine hijacking? Time to detox. Dopamine fasting doesn't mean eliminating all pleasure from life. It means drastically reducing artificial stimuli to reset your reward system. For a day, a week, or as long as you can handle. No social media, no series, no pornography, no ultra-processed food. Seems impossible? It's because you're addicted. The first few days will be uncomfortable. Your brain will beg for stimulation. But after a few days, something magical happens. Simple things become enjoyable again. Reading a book, walking, talking, working on a project. When you remove easy dopamine, your brain returns to valuing natural dopamine, the kind that comes from real effort. Now the deepest part, your identity. You don't procrastinate because you're lazy. You procrastinate because at some point you internalize the belief, I am lazy. And the brain is a belief confirmation machine. If you believe you're lazy, it will make you act lazy to maintain internal coherence. But what if you changed the narrative? Instead of I am lazy, try I'm learning discipline. Instead of I can't, try I haven't learned how yet. These small linguistic changes reprogram how you see yourself. And when your identity changes, your behaviors change automatically. You don't need to force motivation. You just need to become the person who naturally does things. So let's recap everything. You're not lazy. Your brain was designed to conserve energy, seek immediate pleasure, and avoid pain. This worked 200,000 years ago. Today, it sabotages you. But now you know the truth. You understand the game. You know that procrastination isn't weakness. It's misdirected emotional regulation. You know that fear of failing and fear of success are paralyzing you. You know that your dopamine system has been hijacked. But you also know that none of this is permanent. You have neuroplasticity on your side. You can rewrite any pattern, any belief, any identity. The question now isn't, why am I like this? The question is, who am I going to choose to be from today? Because the truth is you always had the power. You just didn't know how to use it. Now you know. And knowledge without action is still sabotage. So I challenge you. In the next 5 seconds, choose one thing you were delaying. One small thing. And start. Not tomorrow. Not after this video. Now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.